If you receive the Australian Age Pension and are planning to travel overseas, it's important to understand how your payments may be affected. The rules depend on how long you travel and your individual circumstances. Hello, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Ali Puinos Hinai, and this is your trusted place for clear and calm information about Australian pensions and Centrelink. If you find this video helpful, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel so more people can find this information. My Telegram link is in the description if you want to ask something. Today, we're looking at what generally happens to the age pension when someone travels outside Australia. This video is for general information only and is based on publicly available information from Services Australia. It is not personal advice, and individual situations can be different. If anything is unclear or if your circumstances change, it's always best to check directly with Services Australia. Many Australians who receive the age pension enjoy travelling overseas, whether it's to visit family, take a holiday, or spend time in another country for personal reasons. Travelling can be an important part of life, especially after retirement. At the same time, it's understandable to want clarity about how overseas travel may affect Centrelink payments. The rules around travel and the age pension are set by legislation and administered by Services Australia, and they apply to everyone in a consistent way. When someone receives the age pension, their payment is generally designed to support them while they are living in Australia. However, the system does allow for travel outside Australia, both for short trips and in some cases for longer periods. What happens to your payment depends on factors such as how long you are overseas, whether your pension is paid under the income test or asset test, and how long you have lived in Australia during your working life before travelling. It's important to understand that Centrelink expects pensioners to notify them if they are leaving Australia. This can usually be done online through a Centrelink account, by phone, or in person before departure. Letting Centrelink know about your travel plans helps ensure your payment is assessed correctly and reduces the risk of issues later. Even short trips should generally be reported. For many age pension recipients, short-term overseas travel does not immediately stop payments. In general terms, if you leave Australia temporarily, your age pension can usually continue for a limited period while you are overseas. During this time, the basic pension rate and some supplements may continue, depending on your circumstances. However, not all components of the payment are treated the same way when you leave the country. One of the key timeframes often discussed is the 6-week period. Under current rules, many age pensioners can continue to receive their payment while overseas for up to 6 weeks. During this initial period, most people continue to receive their normal rate, including the basic pension and certain supplements. This period is intended to allow for holidays or short visits without immediate disruption. After the initial period overseas, the payment may change. If someone remains outside Australia beyond that time frame, some supplements may reduce or stop. For example, the energy supplement may continue this, but other supplements, such as the pension supplement, can be affected depending on how long the person has been overseas. These changes are set out in legislation and applied automatically by Services Australia systems. If travel extends beyond 6 weeks, the age pension itself may still be paid, but the rate can depend on the person's Australian working life residence. Australian working life residence generally refers to the total time a person has lived in Australia between the ages of 16 and age pension age. This period is important because it helps determine how portable the pension is. For people who have lived in Australia for at least 35 years during their working life, the age pension is generally payable at the full basic rate while overseas, subject to ongoing income and asset testing. For those with less than 35 years of Australian working life residence, the pension may be paid at a proportional rate once they are overseas for longer periods. This means the payment may be reduced to reflect the shorter period of residence. It's also important to understand that income and asset tests continue to apply while someone is overseas. Travelling does not pause these tests. Any income you receive, such as income from investments or overseas pensions, and any assets you hold are still assessed under the usual rules. If something changes while you are overseas, such as selling an asset or starting to receive new income, this should still be reported to Centrelink. Another point that sometimes causes confusion is the difference between temporary travel and leaving Australia to live permanently. If someone intends to leave Australia indefinitely, this can affect their eligibility for the age pension in different ways. Centrelink may ask questions about the intention behind the travel, such as whether the person plans to return and maintain ties with Australia. These assessments are based on the information provided and the person's circumstances. For some people, international social security agreements may also be relevant. Australia has social security agreements with a number of countries. These agreements can help people who have lived or worked in more than one country to qualify for payments or to continue receiving certain payments while living overseas. The rules under each agreement are different, and not every country has an agreement with Australia. Information about these agreements is available on the Services Australia website. Health-related benefits linked to the age pension can also be affected by overseas travel. For example, a pensioner concession card is generally linked to residence in Australia. While the card may remain valid for a period during short travel, it is not typically intended for long-term use overseas. Access to Medicare is also affected when someone leaves Australia. As Medicare generally does not cover medical treatment overseas, it's also worth noting that Centrelink systems automatically detect departures and arrivals through information shared with immigration authorities. This means that even if someone forgets to notify Centrelink, their travel may still be recorded. Notifying Centrelink yourself is still important, as it allows you to provide accurate information and avoid misunderstandings. Payment timing can also change while overseas. Some people may notice changes to payment dates due to international banking arrangements or public holidays. If payments are made into an Australian bank account, this may continue as usual, but access to funds overseas can depend on the bank. If payments are directed to an overseas bank account, additional processing time may apply. While overseas, it remains the pensioner's responsibility to keep Centrelink informed of any relevant changes. This includes changes to income, assets, marital status, or living arrangements. Even if the change happens outside Australia, it can still affect the payment. Returning to Australia can also trigger changes. Once someone returns, certain supplements that were reduced or stopped while overseas may resume, provided the person remains in Australia and continues to meet eligibility rules. It's important to confirm your return with Centrelink so that payments can be reassessed correctly. For carers or people receiving additional payments alongside the age pension, different rules may apply. Some supplementary payments have stricter portability rules and may stop as soon as the person leaves Australia. This is why it's important not to assume that all payments are treated the same way. Planning ahead is helpful. Before travelling, many people find it useful to check their individual situation through their Centrelink online account or by speaking with the Services Australia representative. This can help clarify how long payments may continue, which components may change, and what reporting obligations apply. It's also important to be cautious about information found on social media or forums. Rules can change, and individual experiences may not apply to everyone. Official government sources are the most reliable place to confirm current rules. The intention of these overseas travel rules is to balance flexibility for pensioners with the purpose of the age pension as an Australian income support payment. While travel is allowed, the system is designed primarily to support people who are living in Australia on an ongoing basis. If you're planning a short holiday, the impact on your age pension may be minimal. If you're considering a longer stay overseas, it's especially important to understand how your payment may change over time. There is no single answer that applies to everyone, which is why checking your personal details with Centrelink is encouraged. To summarise in general terms, travelling overseas does not automatically stop the age pension, but it can affect the rate and components of the payment, depending on how long you are away and your individual circumstances. Reporting your travel, understanding your Australian working life residence, and staying informed are all important parts of managing your payment while overseas. Thank you for watching and spending this time with me. Staying informed about Centrelink rules can help you plan with confidence and avoid surprises. If you'd like more clear and calm information about pensions and senior benefits, feel free to explore the other videos on the channel. Until next time, Take care and stay informed.